analyze and debunk any perception of dissonance between the International Bill of Rights framework and specialized human rights treaties. It posits that human rights are indivisible, are interdependent, and are interrelated. The principle of the three I's has been recognized and declared in the 1993 Vienna Declaration, which was adopted by the World Conference on Human Rights. Indivisibility means that all rights are considered equal, and as such, there is no hierarchy of rights. Interdependency harkens to the ideal that the enjoyment of one right is often contingent on the enjoyment of another. Interrelatedness or interconnectedness, as it is sometimes called, refers to the permeability of categories of rights, that different categories of rights have familial relationships and common characteristics. Now that we understand what the three I's are, we're going to see how does this relate to the CRPD, and this is how it does. The CRPD is a historic human rights document in a lot of different respects. One of its unique provisions is known as Article 3, and I'm not going to take you through Article 3 in as much detail, given that Senator Richards has already read out what Article 3 contains, and also in the interest of time. The point that I want to make is that these principles are like the lifeblood that courses through the veins of the CRPD. They provide the thematic structure, the foundation, the roadmap, as it were, to deconstructing and understanding all of the substantive rights contained in the CRPD, which are contained from Articles 5 to Article 30, and they span the full gamut of human rights, ranging from civil and political rights on the one hand to economic, social, and cultural rights on the other. Now, some of these general principles find direct expression in the substantive rights provisions. For example, accessibility is both a general principle and a substantive right. So too, respect for the rights of children with disabilities is a general principle, and it is also equally recognized under Article 7 of the Convention. However, the fact that the Convention specifically recognizes a general principle in a substantive right does not mean that that right or that principle is more important than others. Why? Because all of the rights and principles of the CRPD are indivisible. It is simply not the case that all are equal, but some are more equal than others. All of the provisions of the CRPD are also interrelated and interdependent. Now, in order to fully demonstrate how you can view the CRPD through the prism of the three I's, I will use the example of the right to education, drawing upon what Senator Richards said in his keynote address this morning. The right to education is contained in Article 24 of the Convention. The fact that it is not specifically mentioned as a general principle does not mean that it is not a right that is worthy of protection. Such a conclusion would run afoul of the principle of indivisibility. Article 24 also provides that states must ensure that there is an inclusive education system that develops the full potential of all persons with disabilities. At the heart of this commitment is the inherent dignity of all persons with disabilities, which is expressed as a general principle. Article 24 also provides that persons with disabilities cannot be excluded from the general education system. They cannot be denied free and compulsory primary education and secondary education. This provision has to have been inspired by the ideals of non-discrimination, which we find in the general principles. The right to education is also an interdependent right. Without education, a person cannot work, Article 27. A person cannot have an adequate standard of living and social protection, which is Article 28. A person will not be able to live independently, that's Article 19. If you don't go to school, You don't get exposure to extracurricular activities. You don't get to go to sports days, to walkathons, to music festivals. You don't get to interact with your peers. Hence, you will not be able to participate fully in cultural life, in recreation, in leisure, and in sports, which is spoken to in Article 30. There is also a high degree of interrelatedness between the right to education, which is a second generation economic, social, and cultural rights, and the civil and political rights contained in the CRPD. For example, if the right to education and the right to equality are interrelated, because if you will not be able to access your right to education if the system provides for gender discrimination in the education system. There is also an interrelatedness which exists between Article 24 and 29 in that access to education is going to naturally affect your ability to participate in public and political life. In conclusion, I wish to emphasize that the principle of the 3 I's is transcendent. It is overarching. It is synergistic. And to bring the point home, I want to cite a practical example, that of wheelchair access. The creation of a Trinidad and Tobago where all persons who are in a wheelchair are able to freely navigate and access all buildings and all information and all services will redound to the benefit of the entire society. On a theoretical level, it is going to end the cycle of discrimination and marginalization experienced by these people because it will give them the opportunity to come into contact with their community, to gain a sense of belonging, to engage with, to communicate with, to lime with anyone of their choosing. On a practical level, the provision of wheelchair access will also assist the parent going shopping with the baby in the stroller. It will also assist the athlete, dare I say the gymnast, who is suffering from a broken limb or a torn ligament. It will also assist the young child whose legs are too short to jump onto the high pavements which we have a demonstrated penchant for constructing. The creation of a society which includes and accommodates all persons will have far-reaching beneficial effects. And who can argue with that? Who would not want to live in that type of Trinidad and Tobago? Dare I say, in that kind of world? And this is what we have to commit ourselves to work and work and work to achieve. In the words of I, Sasha, let's do this.